I'm really excited today to show you how to install Ubuntu on a Raspberry Pi 5. This Raspberry Pi 5 is encased in the ArgonOne V5, which is a very solid case which contains active cooling and also two full-size USB ports, an audio port, and two full-size HDMI ports. And above all, as I showed you in my last video, I installed an SSD drive and I want to install Ubuntu on the SSD drive. So if you follow my steps in this tutorial, you'll learn how to install Ubuntu on an SSD drive on your Raspberry Pi 5, and this should be also useful for you if you have a special casing. Not only this one, but any other casing should work just fine with this method. Now let's get down to business. The challenge that I have is that the SSD drive is right here installed in this casing, and I don't have a USB adapter to connect it to my computer and flash Ubuntu image directly. So what I will use as a method in this video is to flash an SD card and then boot from the SD card, which in turn we will install it from there to the SSD. First of all, I have the SD card here. I do have a more quality SD card, which is like class 10. It should be working just fine. I think I got this one from the Temu, and let's open it. Let's take this out, and we will be able to access the contents in no time. They made it a bit more complicated, but we will be able right now to get. And I recommend you to use the provided adapter. So I will just put the SD card into the adapter. I will connect it to my computer, and I will need to flash the Ubuntu image. While the SD card is being flashed, I put this cap onto the SD card slot, so I need to get it out. First, so I'm using a short, very thin screwdriver to get that out. Make sure you don't lose the screw because it's very small. I'll just put it here. And the device is kind of ready. I'll just connect the USB. I'll connect the HDMI, and the power will be lost, but I'm not connecting to power right now until the SD card is flashed. And by the way, I gathered here all these devices that I wanted to make videos for on this channel. So I have the R36 here, I have Raspberry Pi encased into an ArgonOne V5, and also a retro sort device for gaming and much more, called the Color Maximite 2. I also have the PicoCalc, which alongside with Color Maximite, these guys work on Basic, so which is a very old language, a little bit changed to adapt to the modern times. Now, I'm waiting for the SD card to be flashed, and we proceed. Now, once you insert your SD card into the computer, you might see a USB drive right here. Mine is not formatted, it's a new card, so it shows up with a partition. But the process will anyway erase it, so don't you worry about that too much. Go to a browser, and first you will need to find the Raspberry Pi imager. Go to the software and download it, and make sure you install the Raspberry Pi imager, which I already have right here. So after you install it, I'm on Windows right now. You know I'm not a big fan of Windows, but it just happened that I was on the Windows lately, so you just open it. Then the next step would be to go to ubuntu.com. You just need to download the Ubuntu image. If you go to download Ubuntu, you see here a section called Raspberry Pi. and then you head over to the Get Ubuntu for Raspberry Pi. And in my case, I'm choosing the 2404, which is a long-term support version, and I prefer these versions, and since I don't need all the flashy stuff the new versions might bring. Just click download. I have mine downloaded right here. Once you get the Raspberry Pi imager working and also you downloaded your Ubuntu image, it's time to get to work. So when you go to the imager, you will be able to choose a custom OS. So go to the OS part and use custom imager. So this is where you choose the image that you downloaded, and then you will choose the storage. No, you hit next. I think they changed something. So yeah, you hit next, and then you go select the mass storage device. So this is the SD card that we previously inserted in our computer. We hit next. We have the operating system pre-installed, blah blah blah, and we will use storage, mass storage. We make sure these options are okay, and then click write. Yes, it will override the SD card. That was the point. I understand. And now it's going to write on the SD card, and just wait for the writing and the verification steps to finish. Oh man, I actually spent the whole afternoon because my SD card broke because of some installation, and it seems it's not a quality SD card, it just fatally failed exactly like the previous one. So I had to flash this Ubuntu, the same image I flashed to this USB stick. And I want to insert it right now. So just make sure you insert it in the Raspberry Pi itself. Just a second. Can insert it here. Do not insert it into this port or in the front because it will not recognize it yet. And plug on the power card adapter, and let's see. It should now boot up from the USB stick, exactly like the card thing. And you should see very soon the Ubuntu logo. As you can notice, now the Ubuntu screen is loading, and then it should finish showing you a wizard prompting to install the operating system. After the loading screen is completed, then you'll see this wallpaper, and you'll see your mouse cursor being busy. Just be patient. If you boot it from the USB stick, it might be really slow. And I have an older USB stick, and for me it's painfully slow. After being patient enough, we will be welcomed with this screen, which is an installer that guides us through the process of installing Ubuntu. The only thing is that it will install it on your USB drive or SD card, not directly on the SSD drive. But let's go to the process. Select your language and click continue. In my case, it will be very slow because the USB stick is so slow. Here you can select your keyboard layout. You can also connect to the Wi-Fi network, but I will skip this step. I will just select one time zone. Doesn't matter for now. I will change it later. One of the last steps is to supply some information about yourself. So in my case, I will uh, create my username RP5, and then I will click continue. Now the system will be installed onto the USB drive. In your case, it might be the SD card. Depends on whatever medium you choose. Just wait for it to finish and the system will be automatically restarted. After the reboot, you will be prompted with the log screen and you have to select your username and just type in your password that you used before. Then you will be logged in inside the Ubuntu system, which actually runs at the moment from the USB stick or the SD card, depending on which one you use to install it on. Wait for it to load and then we should open a terminal window. Good, I see that my Ubuntu booted up. So in this window, click Show Apps and open the terminal. You will see it right here. Again, it might block, it might freeze. You have to wait. Be really patient with it. In my case, with this kind of old USB stick, always have to wait a lot of time. Now my terminal has been opened, so I need to make sure that I have the right NVMe detected by the operating system. So if I use the command slsbl key, okay, I should see the NVMe right here. So this is the NVMe, and these are some partitions which I tried before to install on, but we will with this command that we are going to use next, we will be actually replacing the whole thing. So let's type in the command. First, we need to run it as administrator. We will use the dd command, starting from the interface dev sda to the interface. No, not you. I don't want you. To the interface, which will be dev NVMe0 N1. We will use a buffer base of 4 megabytes. And we also choose to show some progress. Now let's run this command. Just type in your password here, and it should now copy the entire content of your USB stick directly to the SSD drive. That's marvelous because you can get an exact thing. That's why next time when you are booting the system, you will remove the USB stick and we will leave the Raspberry to boot from the SSD drive. That would be an achievement. We have to leave this process to finish. It will take some time. It will take maybe a couple of hours. Just be patient with it. You don't have any other option with that. So we just leave it. I think I'll leave it for tonight and I will check it in the morning. I'm actually very surprised that it took like a quarter of an hour to copy like 16 gigs, which is quite fine. But now I'm curious if the thing was successful or not, because I'm not very experienced with this dd command. Practically, this does a one-to-one low-level copy from two interfaces, and it's a very powerful command, but you need to know how to use it. Now, in order to check if this thing worked correctly, you need to turn off the Raspberry Pi. And the thing is that after you turn off the Raspberry Pi, you should remove the USB stick or the SD card respectively. Okay, my Raspberry Pi has been turned off. I just remove the USB stick right here and I will power on the device. Again, just clicking once and waiting for the light to turn green should be enough. But I'm not sure if this will work. Let's see if it will boot up. Oh, I see Ubuntu. Wow, if it works, I'll be very, very happy because I worked today so many hours to nail this thing down and to understand what's happening. And it will be super nice if I will manage to accomplish this. So let me see if I can connect to the computer. Yeah, okay. It was correctly copied. That's super nice. And I also, yeah, let me finish with this Ubuntu Pro. I don't know Ubuntu Pro. Okay, we can share also data with the Ubuntu guys. But that's nice. Let's open the files. Ooh, what do we have here? Can we see the properties? We have nine. Oh, so this is the SD drive, the SSD drive. Yeah, we have 937 giga free. That's super, super amazing. Yeah, new folder. Hey, hey. Yeah, let's actually connect to the Wi-Fi. No. Yeah, that's amazing. I can't believe it actually worked. Wow. Yeah, I'm also connected to the Wi-Fi. We are rolling, baby. Nice, nice, nice. And let's see the drives. LSBLK. Yeah, so we have the NVMe and it's yeah, like mounted in the root folder. So that's amazing. That's an accomplishment. From this point on, you can actually, make Ubuntu yours. You can do whatever you want with it. And perhaps at some point I will do some speed tests. But for now, I mean, I'm pretty much impressed. It booted up very quickly. It was quite a pain today to make this video. I tried with an SD card, which it failed miserably. It was a new SD card. I have it right here. This one. It's actually class 10, but it's kaput now. That's too bad. And luckily, I managed to succeed in installing the Ubuntu on the SSD without having an USB to NVMe adapter. So I just managed by having it on the USB drive and then using the dd command to low-level copy all the contents from the USB stick directly to the SSD drive, which is amazing. It worked. I didn't expect it to work, and I'm very satisfied to do this job today for you to learn something new. And I hope that it's useful for any of your scenarios in this case. And I want to thank you very much if you had the patience and the benevolence to watch my video, and don't forget to subscribe and watch my other videos where I have plenty of videos related to the R36S game consoles, and also I have a color maximite right here. So thank you very much for watching and all the best.